All right, I'm back. The stream was lagging. Uh, not in the right spot for a good stream. So we're gonna do it a different way and record the commentary on the games. Let's see, it's 3:27, maybe 3:28. Players are set. We have 13 players. 13 players ready to go. This is a pretty big turnout. Hey, it might be too late now. Yeah, you had to. It should have seen something that said tournament on your screen that when you logged in. You didn't see it. No. Okay. Well, there will be one tomorrow. You're playing that one. Okay. All right. I informed you guys that there was going to be a player in this tournament, that it was going to be with Sharice Woods, but he didn't get in time, I guess. So she won't be in this one. We try to get her in the one tomorrow. And this is going to be 6 rounds. We have 13 players. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 players here. Let's look at some of the games. Ensure. I'm gonna see. Is it better for me? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna switch something here. Yeah. Switch it here. Switch it up. Let's get into the games. Let's see. The first matchup is Roper 62, who's the highest player. He's playing Little Almond. Then we see this London system here. Right now, Little Almond is holding his own. He has there's some imbalance of double pawns and bishop here. When you have the bishop here, you want to open the position to make the bishops more effective. Put the bishops on diagonals where pawns don't block their pathway. And it'd be nice if you had the bishops next to each other too, attacking a certain area. Having the double pawns gives Little Almond more square control, so have good control over the center on over e5 here. Also gives Little Almond this open e file. So having a knight on e5 could make up for the double pawns being any kind of a weakness. The weakness of a double pawn is that they're not flexible. Like the pawn on f2 can't move past the pawn on f4. And plus one or both of them could be vulnerable to attack. And it's usually the lead pawn. Right now, this lead pawn is hanging. So black could formulate an attack on that lead pawn, weaken up more squares. For instance, if you attack the f4 pawn, g3 might be a move that has to be played, and then that takes away from the defense of the h3 pawn. So right now he's played queen to c7. Now queen to c7 attacking f4 pawn. I think little almond could, I don't know. I was looking at maybe he could play knight e5, f6, knight b5. That could be playable. But I know he could play maybe g3 now. Or even knight to e2 defends the pawn. But he goes knight b5 first. After knight b5, it's interesting to see what he's going to do after queen takes f4. This might not be a bad move from little almond, because after queen takes f4 and g3, the queen cannot go back on this diagonal, on the b8 h2 diagonal, because it's covered by the knights. And if the queen has to leave that diagonal, then that means the c7 square will be open for the knight. So this was a really, really good move from little almond against Roper62, is the highest player. And Roper62 thought better of taking that f4 pawn. And little almond is sitting here with almost a minute and a half lead in the time. Now, little almond is, I believe he is 7 years old or 6. He's something ridiculous like that, where he's very young, up and coming Implodian. Be on the lookout for little almond, Andy Kwan. Andy Kwan showing promise here in this tournament. Beating Corona Blitz. That's right, guys. We're going to beat Corona. We're not going to let it scare us to death. We're going to go back to normal soon. Having faith in our medical professionals. And you guys are going to be back to school. Yay, right? I can see the kids saying, no. All right. Andy's doing okay now. Andy actually has a development lead, by the way. So you're looking at weak spots like h7, d5 squares weak. Man, you know, gotta watch it. Roper62 has to watch it here. Big time. Here I believe he could play something like bishop e2, bringing the bishop to this f3 diagonal, putting pressure on the d5 pawn. And no, see that Roper62 hasn't developed the knight or the bishop. So, and he decides to go knight e2. This is fine. This is a very interesting game. If little almond could hold on here, this is gonna put a lot of pressure on our top player here. So he is attacking this knight twice. And Roper62 is finally developing his pieces. But I will say this. I love the fact that little almond is using the time advantage that he's gained by not panicking, using it, being careful. He sees that this knight is attacked twice. He's looking at his options. I think he can just go up, play bishop c2. I don't believe he should just leave the knight here. For instance, like rook c1, knight takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, bishop. takes h7, king takes h7, and queen takes, because you'll just be down a piece. So hopefully he's not looking at that. He could be looking at knight takes c6 maybe, and looking at the option of bishop takes a1. Wow, so oh man, so this is not going to be good for him, actually. Not going to be good. So he miscalculated this. He did this thinking that he could win a piece, but he's not realizing you're giving up a piece for a pawn when you do that. That's exactly what's happening. So maybe he's thinking queen h5. But now little Almond is just down a piece, and now he's falling behind in time as well. I will say he is up a little bit in development, so it's definitely not over. If he could start some sort of attack, for instance, like a rook lift to g3 maybe. Because I'm at the, might be the opinion at the point where maybe he should go ahead and take this here and then take the bishop, but instead he goes queen to g4. That isn't threatening anything. So he could actually play e5 here and then unleash the bishop on c8. After e5, I guess you have like queen h5 maybe, or queen h4. Plays f5, put another pawn on same color as the bishop, but this just stops this bishop in its tracks on this long diagonal. So this bishop isn't doing much anymore. Queen h4, I'm going to predict bishop to f6. Or he's going to have to move this queen again. And now it's looking like Roper 62 is settling in, and looks like he has a big advantage now. But that was a good beginning and middle game from Little Almond. Just miscalculated. All he had to do here was play this bishop c2. Or even bishop b1 if you want to go queen c2 and weaken up the king side, threatening checkmate. But this bishop c2 covers everything. Okay, and now we're back bishop f6, and now we're going to go to another game. Looks like Roper 62 is in control there. We have Obedient Glacier versus Roper 10. I would say that Roper 10 is has the big advantage here as far as the rating. If we look at the position, yeah. Oh, that was just a big mistake by Obedient Glacier. So she goes down a queen here. Like Roper 10 is going to be winning that game. Next game, Cool Peaceful Arrow versus Dizzy Shoe. It's been a long time since we've seen Dizzy Shoe. Dizzy Shoe is 1291. Cool Peaceful Arrow is 1078. Cool Peaceful Arrow only has 5 seconds left. Now this tournament is 5 minutes with 5-second increment, which means you get 5 seconds added on every time. Right now, no, he didn't move in time. So Dizzy Shoe wins on time. But if we look at the position, see 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So it looks like he was doing okay. Just took a long time to move in that last moment. All right, so here we have a tie for first with Dizzy Shoe, Roper 7, Select Fact, Determined Octopus, and Tap Madhouse. And oh, I guess there's still one more game. Okay, so Little Almond is still playing here. Now, Little Almond, now we look at this game and we definitely know that Little Almond is in worse shape here. Little Almond has something. Now, I don't like pushing this pawn so far where it can be just surrounded. Just because you push it in one more square doesn't always mean it's good, but I know why he did that. He's attacking a rook more times than protected, but now the rook attacks the pawn twice. So you kind of have to anticipate these moves. So maybe have to play a move like queen to c6 to protect your... This is the only thing that could be kind of neutralize that extra piece of this passed pawn. Queen c6 was played, so little almond is fighting. There's 18 seconds left to 21 seconds. I mean, little almond is doing his thing. Queen takes b6, looks good. Oh, now I see that the time is kind of affecting both players. Because queen takes b6 that could have been a piece. That was a crucial mistake there by little almond. Oh, beautiful move by little almond. Oh, bishop d5. Okay. Maybe queen to b4 was better. 22 seconds. This is still, anything can happen when you don't have much time. Wow. Okay. Threatening checkmate. Little almond has to. Little almond missed it. Oh, man. Good try by little almond here. Good try. So our next games, we have Roper 62 versus Roper 7. Dizzy Shoe and Select Fact are going against each other. Select Fact is 1274. I wonder who this is. I don't know who this is. I don't want to check out and see who it is. Black is moving really well here. That move wasn't the best move. Here you can play a4 and then b4 is a threat. This bishop is running out of squares, so I don't believe this bishop should be on that diagonal. Place a3. All right, so that looks like a pawn here. So Select Fact is down a pawn. White is in control over this game. Let's go to, let's see here. Let's go to Roper 62 versus Roper 7. This is Roper's very own Henry Deemer, Roper 7. And Roper 62 is Roper's very own Cal Vanderhook. Vanderhook. I think I'm saying that right. Who is Roper's second highest player in the school, other than Aiden Song. I like Roper. Oh, so Roper C2 is white. Black is Roper 7 here. Okay. Knight G3, Bishop G6. And this is gonna be a lot of play in this game. Be a lot of play here. Go around a little bit. Let's look at Roper 10 and Top Madhouse. Top Madhouse is black. Roper 10 is a difference of 300 rating points here. But right now, I'm looking at it. Roper 10's development is very bad. Even though Roper 10 has a space advantage, the development is very bad. I mean, look at the king is still in the center. So here, what we need to do is open the center if we could. How do we open the center? If d5 is played, I guess he can play c5, and that's the problem. Top Madhouse tried to open the center, but c5 keeps the center closed. But I will say this c5 pawn is not the best pawn either, because after c5, knight d7, the plan would be b6 and do a closed center plan. But playing queen c2, this is not smart. Now black gets to open the center with the king in the center and start to cause chaos. And that's exactly what we want to do as soon as possible. Not only do we want to cause chaos and open the center, we might even want to think about the sacrifice of e5 as well, just opening up the bishop. So this was a bad decision for white here, but I know white did this because of h7 pawn. But I think we should take this pawn anyway. And go ahead and allow the take of the h7 because the bishop could get trapped there. But instead he plays h6. And now I guess Roper 10 could play c5 now and keep it closed. Okay. Roper 10, Roper 10 is close to castling now. So I don't think it'd be a big factor. Now it's all about this bad bishop on c8. How does he develop this bad bishop? Okay. Let's go to determine octopus and Little Almond. Little Almond had such a good performance that last game. They're almost equal in rating. It looks like Little Almond, let's see, he has a development lead. Well, not really. This king has moved already. But this king is going to be stuck in the center. Has this bad bishop on f8. It looks like white is in control, has a space advantage. Going to be better developed. So white is in control there. Go back to that one. Let's go Ruddy Puzzle and Board Shark. Did Board Shark lose the first round? Huh. Wonder. But here we have Board Shark is black, Ruddy Puzzle is white. Difference of about 200 rating points. Both these players go to Barnard. Board Shark, I believe, is a third grader. No, Board Shark is a fifth grader, and Ruddy Puzzle is a third grader at Troy Barnard. And right now, I see everything is, well, black is up a pawn. But black's king is in the center. So this is, and I think he missed a big opportunity. He should have went bishop takes d7, queen takes d7, and then take the pawn on e5, and would cause chaos in the center. Because of course you don't want to lose the bishop. Then you have moves like e6 coming. So this would have been a much better way to play than just a retreat. This is not the time to retreat. Maybe he wanted to keep his better bishop, but when the king is in the center, we just want to open the center if we can. Could have left the bishop there actually and just take on e5. So that was, I think, a big mistake. And then Board Shark opens the center for him. That makes no sense. Should have threw in check first with rook e1. Should not have just taken back without thinking. Okay, and Ruddy Puzzle having 4 minutes and 16 seconds is not a good thing. Not a good thing that he used no time on those decisions in this game, because that could have been the difference between winning the game, especially with the king in the center. So that wasn't not good how fast he's moving here without thinking. Like this move, queen, I think he's planning on going queen h6 with knight g5, but a simple bishop f4 is something he missed because he's just moving too fast without a plan. All right. Let's go back to DigiShoe and select fact. This is now in the end game. I do not understand how select fact has 5 minutes. Wow. 5 minutes in the game. But not only has 5 minutes, he's winning this game actually. With 2 rooks and a pawn versus 2 rooks, a knight and a pawn. This is a crazy game here, but the king is very weak. And maybe he is looking for a draw. And you see how he's attacking the knight twice. Select fact does not fall for that. Another check. Another check. And I think white would take a draw here. Why not? You just keep checking him. But it's crazy how select fact has more time than he started with in this in this end game. Crazy. Okay, so now he finally gets to bring the other rook in with a check. Will he see it? Okay. Now, I predict he's going to go king to d3. And now there's no more checks here. So that last check wasn't good because it seems like he's going to be forced to trade now because of that. I will say this, if he can somehow gain the last pawn, then he might have a case for a draw if he can do that. All right, so this game is going to be a minute. Let's go to our top rated players game here. This would be, oh, he's done already. So I guess he wins that game against Roper 7. Did he shoe Roper 10 here, top madhouse. This looks pretty even here. It's gonna be a knight versus a bishop. That bishop is pretty good on this diagonal. We just have to figure out a place to put this knight. Where's the outpost for it? We can create a passed pawn at the expense of giving up an open file for the rook. All right, so he puts the pawn on a light square. What's my plan? Guess his plan is to control these light squares with e4 and b5, taking away the effect of this bishop here. Okay. Maybe play f3. Okay. Top Madhouse is doing really good to be 976. 976, Top Madhouse. I want to see who Top Madhouse is. Good. Sorry. I have no name here. There's no name. Huh. Who is Top Madhouse? I don't know. It's unusual that I would create someone's account with no name, but that's what's happening here. Top Madhouse is not doing bad at all. So he could have played like Rook F4. That would have been good. See how he's holding the opponent, but then he has Queen takes F2. So Roper 10 is in some trouble. That's actually game over. Oh my goodness. Ouch. Who is Top Madhouse with the big upset? Big upset against Roper 10. Wow. All right, Determined Octopus and Uh-oh, little almond again is low in time. He has to move, move something. Oh, I think he lost again on time. That's his second time losing on time here. Could have did anything. Just move. Okay, Ruddy Puzzle and Board Shark. Ruddy Puzzle still, I mean, Ruddy Puzzle has a lot of time. Right now, he's not doing that bad. You can call the check here, or you're gonna, wait a minute. Oh, he could have taken the free rook here. Oh man, what a upset. He could have just taken a free rook or even checked on c3, but instead he gives up the queen because he's moving too fast. All right, so round 3 here. Let's look at the leaders. Select fact. Roper 62, Determined Octopus, and Top Madhouse are tied. Select fact has the better tiebreak, looks like. Let's look at Determined Octopus and Roper 62. So here we go. Looks like this is going to be an open Sicilian. This is almost a 400-point difference in rating. Now, this is not a good way to play by White. White, she feels like she can play this way. I don't know why she does this. This is not a good way to play by White. This is not an e4, e5 opening. And so this stuff doesn't really work. But he kind of helps her out. He could have played 95, which was better. But this is going to hurt. Knight takes f7? Can we do that? With queen h5 check? Ah, she does it this way. Oh, man. Might be okay. Go bishop e6, knight takes e6, f takes e6. But just the fact that she's being aggressive is throwing off black. Black could have taken some time and handled this a little more accurately with a little more patience, but the quick moves black has made has put black in a situation here. But go back. She could have played knight takes f7, queen takes f7, king takes f7, and queen h5 check. I think you win that. Definitely should be. Yep, she castles here, so she's planning on playing rook e1, but I think h6 is gonna come quicker than that. Funny thing is, oh, okay, instead. That's even worse. Maybe go check first. Gotta go check first, and then like queen e2. That's the only move here. Check and queen e2. Got it. Now, I'm wondering, what does he block that check with? He can go knight c6, which means he has to go back to the same position almost. So the knight have to go back. But if you go bishop takes d7, yeah, she can go queen takes d5. And if knight d7, which was played, maybe rook e1. Oh, this is White is playing fantastic here. Up in development. I do think that she tried something that she would try against the e5 defense that she shouldn't have, but her imbalances are good. Now, she should have played rook e1. That would attack this bishop twice. That would have been better because she'd have been threatening rook takes e6. And if f takes e6, queen f7, checkmate. But here, she's just going pawn hunting. We don't want to go pawn hunting. We want to get to that king while it's in the center of the board, not win a pawn. So now I believe probably a6 should happen. If bishop takes d7, queen takes in here. All right, so it looks like he wants to castle to the queen side. All right, so maybe now rook takes. Okay. Now, after castle queen side, can we do rook takes d5? Man, not out of the woods yet. Black is still has to dodge these attacks. Can you afford to go queen takes c2? I don't think you can. Because maybe like knight c3. Queen takes c2 is, that's not even threatening anything. It's threatening bishop on c1, I guess. I don't think you can afford to do that. So, man, this game is, Roper 62 has to watch out here. I would say Determined Octopus is doing everything she can to be aggressive, being up in development here with the king in the center. All right, so simple knight to b6. Okay, next. Maybe bishop f4. Maybe bishop f4. Can you get away with it? He just wants to castle. So that's what's going on here. Maybe a rook d3. Maybe you can go knight takes here. Up goes bishop f4. If queen takes c2, I think we can actually play knight c3. I don't think that's just too much for black to take a pawn with the king in the center. That'd be a little too much. So I love how Determined Octopus continues this aggression with this king in the center. Every move is doing something. Now, where did this queen go? Queen, if it goes back to c8 or d8, then black won't castle for a while. But then again, where else can it go? It can go queen takes c2. And now you're threatening moves like knight a3, knight c3. Pawn hunting just looks like that doesn't look good at all. And actually, after queen takes c2, you can even play, I believe queen takes, could you play queen takes b7? You probably could. Even though this knight is covering the rook, so maybe not. This is a big decisions for Roper 62. And Roper now has fallen behind in time. Double attacking the bishop and the rook. Something is going to have to shake out here. Maybe bishop takes d7, knight takes d7, and queen takes b2. That could be something. Yeah. That could be something. Hopefully she takes her time now. And so that made no sense there. c3. Now after queen takes b7, queen takes b5, what are you doing? You had to trade this off and not lose it. So that was a big mistake by Determined Octopus. Now, she does have over a minute in time, even though it's 5-second increment. He's trying to figure out if he should take this bishop on b5. I don't see anything wrong with it. All right, she's continued to be aggressive, which is great. Which is great. Now, he wants to trade, of course. Let's see what happens here. Oh man, and allows the trade. So now things are going, now with no queens on the board, there's not much fear of having a king in the center anymore. That was a bad decision to trade. But there's still some development problems for black. So it's not over. It is not over here. All right. Any other good games here? Oh, that's the last game going. Before, let's check the standings here, see what happened. Top Madhouse has 3 games. I don't even know who Top Madhouse is. I wish I knew. Roper 62, Determined Octopus, Select Fact. Okay, so round 3 of 6. Back to the game. Roper 62 is still thinking here. Maybe knight takes a7 looks good. That looks really good. Knight takes a7. And you win a pawn here. He finds it. Rook c5 maybe. Rook c5 and then okay. Maybe bishop to d7. Yeah. Found that. Man, she is an Implodian. Her 3 questions are, she's slanging those questions right now. I will say that. She is slanging the questions. So she could play knight to b5 because the rook takes a2, bishop takes b6, knight takes b6, and then rook checkmate there. So it's not like she could have did it the other way instead of trading pieces. So knight b5, threatening knight c7 check. Ooh, this is a good Roper 62's time. Doesn't allow him to make good decisions. And that's because Determined Octopus was very aggressive up in development. Wow, 3. Oh. Finally moves. Wow. All she has to do is make sure. Ooh, look at that move there. Knight c7 check forces the mate. Rook takes c7, rook d8, checkmate. Oh my God, she misses checkmated too. Oh my goodness, and it's there again. Knight c7 check. All you have to do is take your time and look at the checks. Oh, knight c7 check is game over. All you have to do is look at the checks. You were such an Implodian before. The 3 questions give you the win with knight c7 check. Mate. Now here it'd be a different mate. Oh my God. Knight c7, king to f8, rook d8 check, rook takes d8, rook takes d8 check, mate. Oh man, how can you miss that? Okay, and now things are changing. Wow. That whole time being aggressive from the start had Roper 16 straight busted. Busted. All you had to do is finish the game with this incredible move. Knight c7 check. Rook takes, he has to take because the king can't go anywhere, and then rook d8 checkmate. And here had it again. Knight c7 check. Now the king could go to f8, but then you play rook d8, rook takes d8, rook takes d8, checkmate again. Oh, wow. Okay. And this is, I mean, with the increment, 5-second increment, this is going to be over. This will be over here. Roper 62 is going to be able to convert this with his 18 seconds. Now, Determined Octopus is now having time trouble. There goes probably another pawn there. Maybe rook d5. Maybe. Oh, no. And then knight takes d2. Maybe rook takes d2. Knight takes d2. Then you put yourself in a pin. That was just completely unnecessary. Wow. It was where when you have someone on the ropes, remember, take your time. The win is close. Take the pawn. The win is close. Take your time and see. Try to find the knockout blow because it's there. Oh man. The Determined Octopus is going to be very disappointed when she sees that game. All right, so now we go into round 4. Roper C2 is still 3 for 3. Top Madhouse is 3 for 3 as well. Still don't know who this is. But definitely is doing really well in this tournament. Here. And let's go to the game. So our number 1 game is Top Madhouse. We want to check this out here. Top Madhouse versus Roper 62. The 2 leaders in round 4. Looks like we have a French defense. I'm wondering, is this it is games? This might be Yashwant Dubaka. It might be Yashwant Dubaka, maybe. Maybe. Could be. Takes. And then I predict like knight c6, and maybe would he play queen g4? Which attacks this g7 pawn. That is the number 1 move in this position. Nope, instead knight f3. Just trying to hold the space here in the center. Black's idea is to attack that space. Knight goes to e7, so we can go to f5 to put more pressure on the d4 pawn. Uh-oh. Can I take there? No, maybe not. Bishop takes, check, knight check. So watch that. Can I do that? Bishop takes h7, king takes h7, knight g5 check, king to... Oh, but you have knight f5 at the end of this. It doesn't work because of knight f5. So king takes, knight g5, king g6, queen to d3, check, knight f5, g4 maybe. g4 wins the piece. But then c4 will be played. Okay, so you're gonna have to do this by playing queen g4. So king takes h7, knight g5 check, king g6, queen g4. Maybe this is the way you have to do it. I don't know, it's gonna... Roper 62 seems like he's being attacked many games. And he's been on the brink of losing those games and have been pretty lucky to get away. But I do believe that Black can survive this attack, making sure, as long as he's careful. I think now he's thinking about if he should even take this bishop at all. So if you just don't take the bishop, then actually that bishop is in danger of being lost as well. So after king h8, now it's all about where does the bishop actually go. Yes, you go back to d3 and then to e2. So he does take it. Now my question is, where is he going to check next? Because the king can't go to g8 because of queen h5, and that should be it. Yes, that should be it. Well, rook e8, queen takes f7. Yeah, that should be it. That should be too bad. So now the question is he going to go queen d3 check or queen g4? Now queen g4, now you get hit with f5. But now I guess you take en passant. Yeah, you take en passant. That's... Wait a minute. It is check there? Not a check. And you might have to take... Wow. This is going to be very interesting here. I was wondering about this move, queen to... No, he does it this way. Now he's trying to run away to e8 for sure. But you have time. You have bishop g5. Got bishop g5. Bishop g5 is probably his best move here. Pinning the knight to the queen. I don't know if you want to bail out and take the rook. That doesn't seem like that's worth the sacrifices. Knight g5 check. King e8, queen h5 check, g6, queen 6. Maybe. He does it that way, which is not bad. I don't know if that was better than queen to f4, but I guess he can bring it. Oh man, but this... Sorry, actually I don't like it now. Now it looks like, oh, and then now you're just going for material. And now what's going on here? It is 2 knights for a rook. Okay. And the king is not that good, and plus the bishop is not that good either, even though one simple move, the bishop is going to come back into the game, really. So maybe like queen e3, or bishop f4, maybe? Not sure. Maybe queen e3, because then knight f5. This is going to be an interesting game here. That sacrifice didn't work out as well, but Roper c2 has this bad bishop on c8. There are some trades there, that's weird as well. Maybe he wants to establish this 3 versus 1 here. There's a potential pass pawn coming here, but there's a pawn here that's hanging. This still has a lot of play left, I will say that. A lot of play. Let's go to some other games here. That was a top game. Let's go select fat, cool, peaceful arrow. You have a queen and knight versus a rook and queen. Actually, no. 2 rooks and a queen versus a queen and knight. So select fat is losing to cool, peaceful arrow, who's 100, about 100 rating points lower. Here, I would just take this knight with the rook and be happy that I'm up just a rook. Why even risk it? Let's go to... I want to say cool, peaceful arrow is down in time here. So even though he's winning, that time makes a difference. We have time to go checking in here. Okay, so he's just gonna push the pawn up, try to get it to h6. Looks like I can just play queen to h6 right now, and game is over because I double attack. Oh, that's even better. So now you have to block with the knight or lose the knight on f5. And so, okay. Let's go to something else. Strange boat versus board shark. See. Strange bolt is up a piece. And is my eyes deceiving me? But I will say board shark does have a pass pawn. Wow, this is a big giant upset if this happens. What happens here? Okay. Oh man, poor shark just gave up a free piece, and looks like he gave it back. Wow. That again. Strange bolt. But now Strange bolt allows a queen. And now it's going to be 2 rooks and a queen. But white has a ton of pawns for this exchange, actually. There's a pass pawn on the E file, pass pawn on the B file. All he has to do is use them. And this king is very bad. Actually, if you look at it, a simple G4, Rook H5, game is over. How do you stop G4? And then Rook H5. Strange Bolt is like actually really good at checkmating puzzles. I wonder if he's going to see this. Okay, so that makes sense. But here, I could play Queen H4 check. Yeah, maybe not. I can play Queen to, no, I could play that. Queen to H4 check, King G7, and then Rook to B7 check. Yeah. Last game. Roper 62 versus Top Madhouse. What's happening here? 2 rooks. A rook versus a bishop and a knight. And what is the pawn situation? We have 5 pawns to 6. Looks like I can double these rooks and pin. Yeah. That didn't really make any sense to do that. That's going to lose more than just a piece. So he's probably better just to move the bishop and allow the capture of the rook and use the bishop and knight, which the bishop and knight are not in bad positions, actually. Okay, he's going to use the knight. Not a bad move to do that. Because there's a lot of weaknesses around here. I am scared of this pass pawn here. So I'm scared of that one. But black needs to try to figure out a way to get his own pass pawn if he could. Now maybe like 94. '94 is played. Okay. I don't know about knight c3. He really needs to get some of these pass pawns going. Okay. Now here he goes to defend that. I don't think he should have tried to defend that either. That was, I don't think that was the right move to make. You're not going to defend this. I'm going to double team this. Knight takes c3 is coming. Man, this is going to be good with this knight versus the rook battle. Maybe you have to play. Okay. Probably has to push this one. Yep. Okay. And then take again. All right, he's gonna be racing to push this pass pawn here. Yeah, he should push now and go 93. Push. Yeah. Because he can't stop the pawn because the knight comes back and blocks it. Push again. And the next push is with check. Knight. Wow, look at this technique by Top Madhouse. But I will say this. He's going to have to find checkmate because that pawn is going to queen as well. But he can find checkmate with the knight and the, yes, for sure. It's going to be checkmate here somewhere. And you're not even that close to the queen square. So this is going to be Roper 62's. Looks like this is a losing game. Roper 62's first loss, maybe. Tough game to come back from. And takes the pawn. So yeah, that, wow, look at that. Any more games here? Last game. What a game by Top Madhouse, who I don't have no idea who this is. I think it's Yashwant Dubaka, one of the first top 100 Implodians ever. I think so, but I'm not sure. But he is now on top ahead of everyone with a big upset over Roper 62. And here, this is round 5. So here, Top Madhouse is playing Dizzy Shoe. Dizzy Shoe is playing a French defense, and we're in a French advanced variation. Knight C6. F3. Actually, I don't have. All right. Okay, now he could take the pawn here. Now that pawn is not, you can't take that pawn or you're gonna lose a piece on d4. Reason why, if knight takes d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4, he has bishop b5 check. Now he can take it. So now I guess he can just move the bishop back to e2 or c2. I'm not sure which one is the best place to move the bishop. I would definitely be thinking about trading, castling here and giving up the pawn for development. That's what I would be thinking about. But goes bishop c2. I wonder if I could do something like knight to b4. Trying to take away his best bishop on the board. Yep, there it goes. That's why I was wondering if he could just castle and give it up, because this bishop is such a good piece. I wouldn't want to have to do this. And not only that, it's going to take away the queen's defense over the d4 square. So here I don't really understand that, because this bishop is so bad. I can actually play bishop to, oh, he does it this way. That's very weird. I guess he wants to control the square, the diagonal, so the king can't castle. But here I have knight to d3 check. That might actually work. So knight d3 check, king e2, or king d2. This is looking bad for the top madhouse here. This is not looking so good. He made some bad decisions with his king in the center. And now this king is going to have to move, but where? If king to e2, you're going to have knight takes b2 with a discovery check and an attack on the queen. So it looks like king d2 is forced. But then you have moves like bishop. No, not bishop. This is not good here. Not good. Maybe rook c8. Oh, he goes knight takes f2. That works too. You're forking the queen and the rook. I thought the knight was so good there you didn't have to do that, and maybe play rook c8, threatening the bishop on c1. And then after knight c3, maybe going knight takes f2. But knight takes f2 works as well. That looks like checkmate. Queen d3 checkmate. He took away his only escape square with the queen on e1. Now the queen can't go anywhere. And look at that. Dizzy Shoe, right after the big upset, Top Madhouse beating Roper 62. Dizzy Shoe beats Top Madhouse. And I don't know who's leading now. Now it's Dizzy Shoe. Top Madhouse are both tied. Tie breaks are the same. Oh no. Okay, so that's going to be very close. All right, so Cool Peaceful Arrow versus Roper 62. Roper 62 is black. Cool Peaceful Arrow is white. And I'm looking, and what I see is Roper 62 is down a pawn. Down a pawn. So he could play up 95. Looked like it was a good move. I think that forces rook takes e5, and then the exchange is going to be lost. Because if the queen moves, then the bishop will be taken by the queen or the knight. So I'm going to have to go rook takes e5 here. Save a piece. All right, so we'll come back to this. Here. Determined Octopus. What are you doing here? Everything looks equal. Black is up a pawn, and it's a good pawn. It's a pass pawn. But Determined Octopus has the bishop here. Probably need to give herself a luft with h3. It seemed like a perfect time to do this. Okay, she just attacks this h7 pawn. I think black could play a6 here, bounce the bishop away. Bishop's gonna have to probably go back to, I would say, d3. Maybe d3 here. You can try to throw in bishop to, I wouldn't do that because of queen c1 maybe, but she goes bishop d6. If I play queen c1, what happens to nothing? You just take the queen and go bishop up. And bishop, so, all right. Queen c2. Maybe here bishop d3. Like a good move. Those bishops are kind of being annoying at this point. Bishop d3, the move here. And then hopefully she plays h3, so you don't have to worry about back rank checkmates here in this position. Every time they do it, because you will be attacking a piece of greater value. All right, for this game. And Ruddy Puzzle versus Obedient Glacier. I think they have been struggling in this tournament a little. I believe they're on the bottom. But that's okay. That's why we play to get better. Looks like Ruddy Puzzle is up a piece. Yep, up a piece here. Also has the pair of bishops and a little space advantage. So Ready Puzzle is in control here. Let's look at the standings again. So Dizzy Shoe and Top Madhouse are definitely tied for first. Then you have Cool Peaceful Arrow and Roper 62, who are third and fourth. And then you have Bored Shark, Strange Bolt, who's in sixth place. A good result for Strange Bolt. Okay. So far. And then Determined Octopus, who is currently playing up seventh, and Roper 10 has had a disappointing tournament here. 2 out of 4. Select Fact is 2 out of 5. Little Almond 2 out of 5. Obedient Glacier, Roper 7 is really struggled in this tournament. 1.5 out of 5. And Ruddy Puzzle is in last place with 1 for 4. Okay, so cool. Wow. What happened here? So again, another game, Roper 62 is facing someone that looks like a Cool Peaceful Arrow. Let's see who this is. Who is this? We want to know who this is here. Oh, this is Ishan. Ishan, an up-and-comer, Cool Peaceful Arrow, up-and-comer here. And look at him go to work. Let's see what happened here. Look at him go to work. Now, he should have pushed this past pawn instead of stealing more. But this is what I don't like when you guys do this. Just push the past pawn. You don't need to take all the pawns. Makes no sense to do this. But let's see what happened in this game here. Let's go back. Can we go back? Can't go back. Maybe we can't. All right, but Cool Peaceful Arrow, he is down to 25 seconds. Okay. And then what? Bishop F6. He has it. He has the right technique. He has the right technique. He has only 22 seconds left. Look at that. Cool, peaceful arrow. And he is definitely, this is Ishant Pathak. He is definitely one of the most up-and-coming Implodians. You got to watch out for him. Ishant. Ishant will be one of the top Implodians in the game. Now, he did that. He should have took the rook first. But resigned. Well, I wouldn't have resigned yet. I would have pushed his pawn first. Wow. Big win. Now we're in the last round. What is their standings? Dizzy Shoe has better tiebreak, so he's number 1. Cool Peaceful Arrow moves to number 2 and is tied, dead tie with Top Madhouse. Bored Shark is now number 4. He's 3 out of 5. Roper 62 is 3 out of 5. Roper 10 is 3 out of 5. Strange Bolt, 3 out of 5. Wow, Strange Bolt, what a result for you. Congratulations, Drew. Much improvement. Select Fact, 2 out of 5. Determined Octopus, 2 out of 5. Little Almond, 2 out of 5. Ruddy Puzzle, 2 out of 5. Roper 7 and 1.5 out of 5. Obedient Glacier, 1.5 out of 5. Best blue camo. I don't remember seeing best blue camo in the tournament. But best blue camo is 0 out of 5. When did he play? Who's best blue camo? First, let me see who this is. Oh, it's AJ. Okay. Best blue camo. All right, so let's look at the games. Best blue camos. We're playing Obedient Glacier. They are. Obedient Glacier hasn't moved yet, so I believe you have only a certain amount of time to move, or they will give you a red or a forfeit. Okay, so there's the first move. Best blue camo, a D4. Okay. We have other games. We have Little Almond versus Strange Bolt. The battle of the up and comers. I think they're both 7 years old, second grade, first grade, something like that. So these are the up and comers. Roper 10 versus Board Shark. That's another Roper versus Barnard matchup. Actually, I think it's really a first board matchup. Roper 10, Noah Gibbs played first board for the Roper School, and Shavant Jayadeva played first board, who's Board Shark, for Troy Barnard. So that's a good matchup. They've played many times. Top Madhouse versus Cool Peaceful Arrow. And then Dizzy Shoe versus Roper 62. Now, I don't believe that Dizzy Shoe could come back right now, or Roper 62 can come back. Right now, I think Roper 62 will be playing Boiler. Try to finish 4 out of 6. I believe that would be 4 out of 6. So he can spoil Dizzy Shoe's first place, but the game is Top Madhouse versus Cool Peaceful Arrow. Top Madhouse versus Cool Peaceful Arrow. So E4. Get this here. Top Madhouse is white. Almost certain this is Yashwant Dubaka. Okay. And right now, black actually has a space advantage here. Bishop G5, nice move. Just developing the piece, pinning this knight to the queen. White's threat is to go bishop takes F6 and then bishop takes H7 check. Or does bishop takes H7 check right away? So the best move I think here would be like H6. Top Madhouse is up by a minute in this position. All right, look at can Roper 62 spoil Dizzy Shoe's first place standing? Right now, Roper 62 is white. See, how did this game go? Go back to the beginning. This game started off. This is a French defense, looks like. Yep, it was a French defense. Okay. And here, black actually goes and takes a pawn here. So black is up a pawn, but there is a price for this pawn. I wonder if Queen D7, okay. I wonder if we played Bishop B5, could he take that? Well, if he could. Bishop B5 check looks interesting here. Bishop B5 check. A takes, knight takes B5, and that queen has not many squares. Queen d7, knight c7 check. Oh, and you blew in the queen. Because the bishop covers the d8 square. Wow, bishop e5 check is interesting. The problem is you can just play knight c6. And it's no problem. You don't have to take the bishop on b5. Very interesting combination, though. What else does white have? White can just play bishop e2. Or it can play bishop f4. Maybe bishop f4 is even better. Or bishop e5 check. Oh, he actually found bishop b5 check. Wow. Roper 62 is really strong in the tactics. Problem is knight c6. I don't have to take. I can go knight to c6. And then maybe he should play bishop f4 or bishop b7 works too. So Digishu did not fall for it. Wow. That was really good discipline by Digishu not to fall for that check there. So what is he threatening here? Yeah, you can just play knight takes d7. Now you're threatening this b6 pawn. I don't know if you want to take it right away with your king in the center. But it looks like black is kind of consolidating. Castle came, bishop e7 should be the next move. How can white continue the pressure? Maybe f4. That could be it. Bishop e7, f4, knight c4. Oh, no, see, this is greedy. See, black had to get the queen or the king out of the center of the board. So I don't like this knight c4 move, even though it might not wind up hurting him. It seems like he's just going pawn hunting with his king in the center, but he really needed to play bishop e7. Now, that being said, I don't know how he's going to get punished for it. We need to open the center somehow. So Roper 62 tries, rook e1, attacking a pawn twice, and after bishop e7, if bishop e7, you have bishop takes e7, queen takes e7, and knight f5. And that is actually a pretty decent move because it forks the queen and forks the g7 pawn and the queen. But here, a6 is a smart move. That's a smart move. Oh, knight f5 comes. So this is the problem when you make a move that you shouldn't make with your king in the center. Get your king out of the center. Now, I think this king is going to be in the center for a long time now. Maybe. So he goes queen c6. I was thinking queen a3, but queen c6 looks okay. Maybe here he can play like queen to, oh, he can't move. So this was actually a move that holds the queen to the defense of this knight. This is very complicated. But Roper 62 only has 43 seconds. He's been in time trouble a couple of times, and it has affected his play. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Maybe bishop a3? Can't move the bishop because of knight takes g7 check. So here it looks like he might decide not to castle at all. Maybe bishop takes f6, g takes f6. Goes knight f4 instead. Queen d7. Yeah, I think queen d7. What? Queen d7, knight c5. Bishop takes e5. So queen d7 is a good move. All right. Now I think black could consolidate. Black has a ton of time, so I think this is the time where black should take his time and develop the pieces. Bishop c7, that doesn't really do much. Black in this castle, and now I think black is just winning the game. And if black wins this game, that should secure first place in the Beat Corona Blitz tournament. Oh, wow. Okay. That gives up, this gives up a piece. Simple knight of 6. Like that just gives up a piece there. Oh, see, now this is what I don't like. Pawn hunting. Pawn hunting. F5. Now this E6 square is weak. That's a good move. That was an excellent move by Dizzy Shoe. Excellent. Pinning the knight to the queen. That was excellent. Maybe knight to b5 or e5. I don't know if, oh yeah, that should win. Now you got bishop takes d4. Yep, that should win the game there, I think. Maybe a check here. Yeah, maybe a check on d1 and then queen c1. And that should win. Oh, f4 works too. Wow. Wow, what a game. And so that should do it. Last game is Strange Bolt versus Little Almond, and Little Almond. Whoa, what happened here? Strange Bolt makes a move. Strange Bolt has to make a move. He does. Like Little Almond is ready to queen a pawn. Strange Bolt has to make a move. Up, there's a move. There's a queen on the board. 2 rooks, 2 knights against a king and a bishop. Looks like it's finished if you play like knight f6 check. That works too. And queen takes, and that is the tournament. So we look at the standings. I think Dizzy Shoe is our champion. Dizzy Shoe is our champion, rated 14-18. Then it's Top Madhouse, who gets the silver medal. And then Ishan with a good performance, 4 out of 6, gets the bronze medal. this was a good tournament. We're gonna do this tomorrow. We could probably do it a little early. I'll make an announcement tomorrow. I'll ask the parents what time do you guys want to do it. But thank you guys for participating in today's tournament. Hopefully tomorrow we can have double the amount of players tomorrow, where we can add 2 or 3 more rounds. But anyway, till tomorrow, I'll see all you guys later.